Hello, everyone, and welcome to Empowers Her Light the Torch. These amazing ladies have all contributed and come out with a groundbreaking book that's all about Empower Her. I mean, this is going to be over 30 different perspectives of women from all over the world, offering how you can feel more empowered and supported, and how you can empower and support others. So we are going to kind of round robin around the room so you can be introduced and learn more about these amazing women. We're all going to take a minute to talk about themselves, their role in the book, their chapter, just so you can get to know them a little bit more. So ladies, I'm going to ask you guys to mute unless you are currently the one speaking, so we can keep as much background noise down to a minimum. I'm going to have Melissa Cruz kick us off, and then she's going to jump around and pick another person to speak, and we'll kind of round robin off that. So Vijay, you can just take 2 minutes or less to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your chapter, and then pick another author to go next. So Melissa, why don't you take it away for us?
Yeah, well, thank you so much. I feel really honored to be here, especially with you ladies all over the world. This is my first time writing, so huge for me, huge accomplishment being a part of this book. But as you mentioned, my name is Melissa Cruz. I work in the real estate industry, and my chapter is about becoming a leading lady, right? There were so many things in my life that I had carried around for so long that kept me playing small, that kept me ashamed and embarrassed about who I was. And it was time to let that go. And so my chapter is about stories, big pivotal moments in my life that I now used to be ashamed of. Now look at that as a thank you, like that happened for me. And that's the reason why I am who I am today, the woman that I am today. And I'm very grateful for those experiences. So I get to take you on a journey through kind of what that looked like so far in my life. And I tell it in like a movie sense. So there's act 1, act 2. And so you will see that in the book and why I chose to go that route. But yeah, that's kind of what my story is about. And I appreciate being here and with you lovely ladies. So let's go to Ema.
That's why you asked my name. Melissa, I love that. I didn't read your chapter, but it's about me now. But I love this act and the filmmaking. I have created my chapter as a shamanic journey. So my name is Ema or Iman Kamel, and I am a multidisciplinary. I'm a global nomad, digital nomad, and I have been very sick last year. So when I came back to life, literally, I started to write. So I wrote my solo book, then I wrote the anthology chapter, and it's all about the lioness. It's in our cosmology, it's the Sekhmet, it's the fierce power, but also the fierce passion, and also the healing passion. And I'm taking you on a journey of my life, but a kind of a shamanic guided meditation. It's the very first time that I will write about me in that manner, as an immersive experience. So I'm very, very, very excited for you to read and provide feedback. And I'm so excited to be with all of these women. It's almost like a rainbow, an array of power and resilience and rebirthing. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Iman. Thank you for being here, sharing your journey. Pick another person to speak.
Yeah, I would love Dr. Femi Hipsky, the Global Sisterhood. It's magnetizing.
Thank you so much. Yes, the Global Sisterhood is a huge part of my heart and my mission in life. And I chose this book to write about the Global Sisterhood because everyone's always saying, what does the Global Sisterhood do? And I always have to say, whatever it takes and that is truly what this chapter is about and what my life is about. In about 2 weeks, I'm embarking on the Global Sisterhood 2024 Give Back Tour, and we are going to Africa, to Kenya with our orphanage there, Hakima Place, one of our charity partnerships, Tanzania for our School for Entrepreneurship, there for women who are starting their own businesses, and then we're going down to South Africa and Johannesburg to work with the teenage girls that I've been Skyping into their classrooms for empowerment circles for about 15 years. So I'm at a point in my life and my journey as the executive director of the Global Sisterhood that it's really on my heart to spread this message far and wide. And the EmpowerHer Story gave me another vehicle to do that after I've had 15 books that have gone international bestseller, solo books, but I love to be a part of collaborations such as this.
Yes, and we're so excited for all your journeys coming up. We'll be tracking you and watching and supporting. And that's really what this is about. What I love about this book is that we have some super powerful women, and then we have some women with some super powerful stories and lessons, right? And so women coming into this book can take lessons and nuggets from each of you because you've each walked your own path. You each have your own adversities to overcome and to work through. Some of you are still in that journey. Some of you have gone through a journey. And so for women to really come in and read this book and be able to see those different perspectives, those different accomplishments, those different adversities, and know they're not alone, and to not only have inspiration, but have guidance and a feeling of support. So Shelley, pick another person.
Shelley, can I get you on YouTube, or are you on the road?
Yeah,
Because
I am
I would
often
love
on the
to
road,
have
but
you.
yes, there's a lot on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram at Dr. Shelley, and I would love to connect up with you. Absolutely.
Okay,
The
because
sisterhood
I
goes
would love
far and
to
wide.
bring you on the holographic playground. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Excellent. I would love to. Let's go with Cheryl, please. Has Cheryl spoken yet?
I had a little trouble finding my unmute button. Hello, everybody. So yeah, I'm Cheryl Campbell, and my chapter of the book is about my journey from a really bad speech disorder and not having a voice for a very long time. It's entitled Soulful Strength, The Path to Personal and Professional Empowerment. And basically, I talk about my journey of going through the first formative years of my life with a very bad speech disorder and being afraid to be heard. And then I tell the story of how I was thrown in front of an audience of 500 men as the only female speaker at an event. It wasn't planned. I wrote the presentation, but I wasn't supposed to deliver it until last minute, and how that also kind of started my journey. And then I talk about how even though when you get over certain things and you take the first step towards, becoming you, that you hit all little paths along the way, and there's no one thing that really makes us the person that we're supposed to be. So I dive into how it really took me the next 3 decades after that talk to really find my voice and be comfortable as I can be. I'm still not always comfortable speaking in front of people, with the little tiny bit of a niggling fear still that I will goof up, and how it doesn't matter because we're all on our own paths and we all have our own journeys and we all go through our own growth. And mine happened to be a spiritual path. And so I talk about that a little bit in the book as well. And that's work-wise. I'm an entrepreneur, and I've been working with women for the last 14 plus years, always really collaborating in everything. So that's also why I loved this project so much, because I really believe in collaboration. And I think that we all rise together. So really, it's a really important thing to do amongst us ladies. And do I get to pick the next person?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the next sitting next to me is Janice. So I'll ask Janice to go next.
Thank you so much. I love what you just said. It feels like we're a collective power, like this force of sharing our stories out into the world. So I've been working in the tech space for 10 years, and then I have a business as a self-love coach. And my story was really about sharing, the lives that we're living that are so uncomfortable and the things that we accept and how we'll fall into these lives that are so far away from who we truly are. But then this wonderful experience we have after something really horrible happens in life, you see how people will go through a tragedy or critical illness like myself, and all of a sudden their lives are incredible and amazing. And that's what my experience was. And I feel like I felt, physically and spiritually something really profound and exciting and beautiful. And I remember when I figured out what self-love was, which was just kind of like a line item on my trying to figure out how to heal my body. I was like, I don't think people know that this exists, or they'd be shouting it from the rooftop. Everybody would change their lives and they'd dedicate themselves to telling other people about it. So that completely transformed my path. My life became wonderful and amazing. And I'm just committed to sharing that with the world, to helping people who are going through extreme circumstances, to uncover that inner amazing radiance that we all have. And I'm really excited to be sharing this journey with all of you guys. I appreciate She Rises Studios for making it simple as a writer to get on that publishing path. I'm gonna go with Sheila.
Hi, thank you so much. I love everything you ladies have said, and that's exactly why I'm in this collective as well. Like, so many inspiring stories, so much passion and drive for everyone that's here, and just uplifting and coming together to bring these words of inspiration to humanity and to really make a difference in the world. And I'm Sheila Burrell. I live here by Walt Disney World, Florida, Walt Disney World in Florida. And I found my journey through my children. I'm a single mom of a 10 and 12 years old. And, like coming upon those challenges of that age, and even with myself with work, I actually work at Disney, and I was furloughed and laid off during the pandemic. And it brought me to this new eye-opening level of consciousness that I never knew was out there. So I started studying conscious parenting. It saved the relationship with me and my girls, a very tumultuous relationship with my mom. And hence my chapter in my book is how to really be your child's superhero, and coming back to that level of knowingness and tapping back into reparent your own inner child. And that has saved me. And I've realized on my journey too, I'm a fairy tale connector as well, because when it comes down to it, it's relationship. It's all about relationship and connection on a deeper level with everyone in your community. And on the second half of life for me, it's more about quality connection. And that's what I want to mirror and be around for my girls in their tween years, where they've already got so much confusion in their own body trying to figure themselves out. The last thing we need is everything on the external support system being the same crazy roller coaster that's going on inside the body. So the more we understand about ourselves, the more we can reflect into our children. And I'm on a passion to help our youth understand those things, because they are the seeds of our future. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm honored to be on this journey with you. And I'm not sure who's went next. If you guys can help me out, who hasn't gone? I saw Rian.
Yes, Ryan. Hi.
Thank you.
Yes, I too am so honored to be here and be part of this. And thank you to She Rises Studios as well. My chapter is Foundationless to CEO. And I'm so big on mentorship and mindset, and just looking at things from a different lens can really change your world. And when I started getting in the right rooms and being surrounded by those that were willing to support me and understand my vision and goals, I just realized I've been self-employed for 23 years, have 5 businesses. And in the last 4 years, I've learned more, I think, than collectively in the past. And obviously had so much to learn from 23 on. And this is the first time I'm actually sharing my story of how I even started a business. I was forced to start my own because my file was shredded at a Fortune 500 company after a sexual harassment HR claim. And I've never shared my story before. I was slightly scared to do so. And so this gave me the platform and the courage to do that. So thank you for that. But just the things that changed my life that I wish I knew so much sooner. And so I have mentioned success tips that are just so basic, but something that we just maybe don't have the confidence to believe in. And when you start thinking bigger and you start surrounding yourself with the right people, I think so often we can be in a room with people that hold us back because they're not doing what we're doing and they don't see our vision. And so when you're surrounded by people that believe anything is possible and they think so big, it really can be a massive game changer. And I wanted to share my story just to show all of the setbacks and how I overcame things and what my mindset was, so people can maybe feel a little of that and think the same way, and just that things happen for you and not to you is a different mindset. So what can you learn from every obstacle that you have or hurdle that you come across, and just looking at it differently? So hopefully, just like everyone else, we're empowering other women and we're helping women succeed and letting them know that they have a community that has been there, done that, and just can help one another get through it. So hopefully that is the outcome from the book, and that people are inspired and know that we're here for them. I don't know if anyone is left. If anyone's left.
Amy Michael, let's hear from you.
Hello, thank you. Like everybody else has said, I feel very fortunate to be part of this book and this collaboration with so many powerful women. I myself, like Cheryl, have struggled with getting my voice out there and feeling comfortable speaking my story. My story in the book is on awakening around emotional resilience and self-discovery. It's really overcoming limiting beliefs and mindsets, and overcoming generations of abuse and trauma. I speak on personal growth and professional development, and I feel that I'm being called to connect within the workplace, within my own life, to the people in my world, but make a bigger impact and bring that human connection back into everything that I'm doing as a human resources professional, and in the workplace. So I am very thankful to be able to be part of this book and collaborate with others, and hope to be able to help spread everybody's story with our book.
I really appreciate all of you taking the time to be here to talk about the book. I mean, like I said, this book has a lot more authors than just the 8 that are here today. I have 30 plus authors in this book offering different perspectives. And the whole idea of this book is really to empower women to empower others. Like, we have to feel empowered ourselves. Like many of you have mentioned, whether it be overcoming health things, whether it be overcoming stigmas, whether overcoming challenges within the family or within work, whatever that challenge is, we have to know that we have that inner power in order to impact others. And a lot of people want to know how to find that source, or they're trying to find that source, or they're working through it. And they know, and they have these dreams and ideations of doing bigger and contributing and helping. They don't know how to go about it. And a lot of it comes because they're just not ready. So this book is designed to be a guide to help you take those steps to really be ready to impact and empower others. And it's really not limited. I mean, we have a diversity of women from different backgrounds, different countries, and different ages, and even women telling things from different times in their life. So it's really a book for all ages. It's a book globally that can be used. It's a tool that we're hoping can really help push and empower women to take those next steps, and overcoming those adversities so that they can lead and they can change. So I know, and a lot of you said, and I can completely agree with the fact of, I wish I knew what I know now when I was younger. Not sure I would have listened, but I do wish I had those tools. So obviously we don't want to go through every tool in our tool belt, but let me just round robin around and ask, what is one thing that you know now through your journey that you wish you had known before? So Melissa, we'll start back with you.
What I wish I knew then was everybody is scared, right? It doesn't matter what age you are, how much experience you have. You know, I always grew up thinking that as an adult, you had your stuff figured out. Like, you don't have problems, you don't worry, you're not scared, you don't have any more dreams. Like, life is kind of over, you know, you just kind of lived. And that's not the case, you know? And so none of us are fearless. We just decide to do it anyway, you know? And I think in doing that, it gives us permission to be who we were meant to be on this earth. And so I wish I would have known that I had that permission within myself to do that and not have been put down, you know, or allow other people to tell me who they thought I needed to be or should be and listen to them. You know, like, I have all of that within myself, and that's 100% okay.
Yeah, it's very true. And especially our future generations and our younger ones, you do. I know I have all girls too, like Sheila. And so it's like trying to instill in them, like, all this other stuff you have going on doesn't really truly matter. And you do have that strength within inside of yourself. Like you said, it's definitely a great lesson that we get as we get older, but we wish we could instill in the younger years for sure. Okay. Iman, how about you? What is a tool you wish you had before?
Oh, fear and fierceness are very connected. Very connected. And I wouldn't have thought that I would be reborn. Like, I didn't know that. And like, I'm 60, so I was thinking that I have lived it all, that I have experienced it all, that I have been washed with all waters. But that hurdle, that space, I never have experienced before. I never have been there before, near death, so to speak. So if I would have been knowing that you will overcome that as well, that feels like a miracle, but it will give power. Like, now I am so clear about that I have still a mission. So I'm even more pushing now. I'm even more determined now. I'm even more crazy now to bring really heaven on earth. So now nothing can really stop me. So I would have loved that, to know that before, that there is nothing in this world or any other world that you cannot overcome.
Knowing that you can be truly unstoppable, and we have to get out of our own way sometimes. Okay, Janice, what about you?
I would definitely love to have known the importance of trusting my intuition and how that can lead you down the wrong path if you let somebody else have ownership over, like, the permission that you give to do something, versus understanding if something doesn't feel right, like your body, your spirit, something in there is letting you know that's going to take you down a path where you don't belong. And not wait for permission to be able to take action to make my life amazing and to live the way that I want, so that I can fully emerge as my truest self.
Right. Got it. Okay, Cheryl, what about you?
So for me, the biggest thing, I think, is I wish that I knew it was okay to be different, because I definitely have traveled a path where I have been so intuitive that I have absorbed other people's energy and not realizing it, and spent a good 10 years of my life thinking I was crazy. because I didn't know where all of the emotion and feelings were coming from. So that's one thing. I wish I knew it was okay to be different. And I wish that people talked a little bit more about that back then, about being intuitive, about being an empath, that kind of thing. But of course, it was all considered so woo-woo at the time. But with that said, I would not change a single thing, because I really do believe that I wouldn't be the person I am today. And I really like who I am today. And, so my main goal is just maybe to shorten the learning curve for other people, making their
this
a little
isn't
bit simple.
not to undo anything, but just to definitely, that's what all of this is about, is helping people, shortening that learning curve.
That was a big thing for me to realize that, though, that it's okay to have been where you were at, but yeah, that's it for me.
What about you, Dr. Shelley?
Well, looking at this screen, I would have learned how to do the background. So I wouldn't be the only one without the purple and black. But on a serious note, I think that if I would have learned boundaries earlier in life, that would have been fantastic. I too, like a few of the other ladies have said, I'm very empathic. I let everybody in. I want to help everybody. I want to give. But that has hurt me at different times in my life. So I think that if we are, reaching out to this next generation and other women, find your boundaries, find what doesn't feel right, find what feels really good, and live in that space and be your authentic self.
Yeah. Boundaries are helpful and boundaries are healthy.
Yes, absolutely.
And how about you, Amy?
Yeah, I would say one thing that I wish I would have known earlier in life is to trust. I think it's the same thing everybody else has really been saying. Trust your own intuition and yourself. Find your authentic self. Don't let somebody else determine what your worth is. You have the power to write your own story, to live your own life, and to make your own worth. I don't know how much more I can add to everything that everybody else is saying. I think we're all saying
define your own worth. Define your own worth is a great point.
Yes.
Ryan, what about you?
I would say I agree with all these things, and I'm so glad that I'm going last, because it's so hard to narrow it down. But take advice from those qualified to give it. So often we can listen to our friends, and a lot of this goes to get in the right room, but we can listen to our friends and our parents and all these people we surround ourselves with. But if you're interested in starting a business, talk to someone who has a successful business. If you're interested in a successful relationship, talk to someone who has a marriage of 20 years. Just get the advice from those that actually have done what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. Great point. And Sheila, what about you?
Yeah, still in alignment with that, what everyone's saying, just the power of the right community, the community that can see your strengths and help you shine more there instead of keeling into your weaknesses. Those who are willing to support you when you are being human, as we all are going to be, even as much knowledge and experience as we have, that people who are willing to be on that journey and be flexible with you in your times of need, and know that those communities exist. And once you find those tribes, that is a shining star, because the power of community collaboration and uplifting is like none other. And we really got away from that. It takes a village to raise a child, because now we don't have the villages anymore. Everybody's so busy, and how much it really does affect and build confidence, even starting from a young age, of those that we're surrounded around. And that it's not too late at any stage to go into those communities that serve you best, because sometimes, let's face it, those friends and family that's known us since when we weren't our better selves, they keep that tied to us a little harder than we want to. And it is tougher to break free. To know that it's okay to, it doesn't mean you have to cut it all off, but to know it's okay to set that on the shelf, and to to be around those people who are willing to be flexible with those new identities that you're creating, better versions of yourself that can accept those.
Yeah, find your community and find your people, and you realize there's nothing wrong with you. I tell my teenage daughters that all the time. Like,
and don't quit. Just don't quit. Like whatever you do, keep going.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets hard, a lot of people quit, and that's where the breakthrough happens.
It is. And sometimes people look for, and this is another one I use a lot of times with my clients and with my girls is just because you don't like what's given to you or the table that you're sitting at doesn't mean you have to accept that or sit there. You can build your own damn table. Like it doesn't have to be that way, right? Sometimes it takes us building our own future and our own things to realize that there was something wrong with the table you were at anyways. So it's okay. Coming from a male dominant industry myself, people would often say, well, there's not enough women in the financial rooms or at the financial tables. I'm like, that's because we built our own tables. We're not there. We don't want to be in the boys club. It's okay. So, all right. Well, and I think we've kind of really covered a little bit. People have been able to get to meet you. People have been able to learn a bit about your chapter and a little bit about, the stories you've walked. Does anybody have just like a last inspirational, motivational thing they want to put out there? And I'm going to tell everybody how they can go and get this amazing book.
I just want to say, if your dreams are not, if they don't scare you, they're not big enough.
Right.
You've got to set a dream that's so big that you will just keep going and striving for it and just focus on the end goal and not everything that happens in between the time of starting and getting there. But you just have to start, because I don't think we're ever truly ready.
Yeah. It's a great point. So if you are looking for some guidance, some inspiration, some motivation, some support, this book is for you. It is now available on Amazon in the ebook form. And in a couple weeks, it's going to be in the paperback form. So please go out, get this book, and start taking action, because that's really what you want. That's why you're listening, and that's why you're looking, because you really want to be able to take those steps to the better you, and the better you that can help impact others like we are reaching out and doing now. So Amazon, now you can get the ebook. In a couple weeks, it will be live in paperback on a ton of different retailers. Thank you, ladies, for taking time and joining. And I look forward to talking to you all again. We'll be setting up a roundtable around the paperback release, where we can all come in and have a further discussion about what it means to empower each other and empower women around the world. Thank you, ladies. Have an amazing rest of your week. Everybody listening, thank you for taking time to listen in.
Thank
you. Right. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.